Time to get your head in the game. And no, I'm not talking about as a player. It's time to get your coaching game on. And I'm not talking about starting a coaching business unless that is your business idea. I'm talking about how to coach your team up for success. And because to win championships, and I mean have a successful business, it takes a high-performing team, right? When every member has their expertise and everybody knows their role and we're all moving together, that's when we get the best results. And none of us can do it alone. And in fact, no team actually gets to their highest performing level without a high-performing coach. And that's you, Mom Boss. So today I'm gonna give you 5 secrets that all successful coaches know to get their team performing at their best. So let's jump in. And don't worry, I'll get you straight before the quarter's out. So thank you for tuning in to today's episode. We are going to be talking about, again, those 5 performing tips that every coach needs to have. All right, first thing, any great coach knows is you got to set the foundation. Think of it like building your house. If the foundation isn't solid, nothing else is going to stand strong. And in the business world, your foundation are your values. It's what your team can rely on no matter what's happening. It's the principles and the why behind what you do. Now, these values aren't just words on a poster that you stick up on the wall. They need to be real, living parts of your business. So ask yourself this question: what are the non-negotiables for my business? What do I want my team to stand for? And what do I want them to do when I'm not in the room? Maybe it's a commitment to do the right thing always. Or maybe it's a dedication to always work with the customer's best interest in mind. Or perhaps it's an atmosphere of authenticity and respect. Whatever those values are that ring true for you, make sure that they are clear and they are known and they are well communicated to your team. Let your team know that these values are the foundation that you build on, and it's the starting line for every play that they run every single day. And don't forget that these values actually start with you. You're the coach, right? Model them in how you lead and interact every single day. If teamwork is a value, show up for your team, support them, and encourage them to do the same. It's the first step to building a culture that feels solid and unshakable, where people know that they are what they are part of, and they know why it matters. My husband is a huge basketball fan, and he told me about a coach named John Wooden who actually won 10 national championships in 12 years, which is unheard of. The secret to John Wooden's success was actually his pyramid of success. He didn't just talk about the plays that he wanted to run with the players. He talked about the values and the why and the individuals that he wanted them to be so that when they came together as a team, they could be totally dominant. I think we could learn something from John Wooden. I would love to string 10 years of success as well. Secret number 2, set clear goals and define clear roles. So once your foundation is set, these are your values, remember to define what success looks like. No coach can expect their team to win if they don't know what a win looks like, right? So be very clear with your team about your goals, both the big picture as well as the smaller milestone goals along the way. Let them know what success looks like for your business and what's expected of them in their roles to help you get there. And here's where clarity is key, right? Every team member should know exactly what it is that they're responsible for and how their contributions help get to the big win for the team. Think of it like this. If you're running a play in basketball, everyone's got a position and everyone's got a job, right? Somebody's on defense, somebody's setting the screen, somebody's going in for the shot. If anyone's not clear about what they're supposed to do during that play, the whole thing falls apart. The other team gets the ball and they're dunking on the other end of the court before you knew what happened. The same thing goes in business. So sit down with each team member and discuss their goals, big and small. Show them how they tie into the company's big vision. And then here's another extra tip. When those goals are achieved, make sure you celebrate the win. Talk about the W that just went up on the board. Give credit and recognize contributions. Show them their hard work isn't just noticed, it's valued. And when people see that their efforts matter, they are more motivated to give even more. Now, here's the other thing. Some of us have really big, lofty business goals, right? I saw this reel on social media and I absolutely loved it. A guy had some teenagers that were on one end and they had to get to the other end by only stepping on the pieces of paper that he put on the floor. Now, at first, there were some really small, clear steps that they could take, and it was pretty easy to get to the end goal. He then started taking away those small intermediate milestones, and the steps began to be harder and more difficult. And finally, he took them all away, and the person on the other end was like, there's no way I can get from where I am to where I'm going. What's the lesson here? Without those small intermediate steps and goal, you're really not going to ever get to the big picture anyway. So write it down, make it clear, make sure everybody's on board. It's a key to success. All right, coaching tip number 3, create a culture of feedback and growth. All right, so this tip is all about the environment that you create in your business. Feedback and growth are necessary. No championship team gets there without constant feedback. What's working, what's not, where to make adjustments. And in your business, feedback isn't just about pointing out mistakes. It's about creating a culture where there is ongoing learning and ongoing growth. And trust me, feedback is not just one directional. It's not just you as a mom boss telling everybody else. It's being open for them to share feedback as well. So let's be real. Feedback can sometimes be uncomfortable, but it's one of the most powerful tools that you have as a leader. It's like the mirror that lets your team see where they're strong and where they can improve, and that mirror works on you and it works on me as well. So make feedback a regular thing. Don't wait until once a year. Offer real-time feedback. Make it a two-way street. Let your team know that it's safe to give you feedback and that it's comfortable or more comfortable that you can give it to them without any judgment as well. Be open to hearing them. It builds trust and lets them know that you're all in it together. So another tip here, focus on goal-oriented feedback. Instead of just telling somebody what went wrong, guide them on how to make it right next time and let them know why. When your team sees the feedback as a path to growth, they actually look forward to it, and it makes your business a place where people want to stay, want to learn, and want to improve because they are growing. I remember there's a team that I work really closely with in my business, and I remember that there were some times where giving feedback was really, really contentious. But when I actually stopped to hear what they were saying about me first, I could actually see from their perspective. And when they saw that I could see from their perspective, they were actually more open to hearing what I had to share about their performance as well. And I can say today, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that we are a high performing team and we're all the better for it, given the feedback that we shared. All right, coaching tip number 4, empower and trust your team. All right, so in this tip, empowering and trusting your team, the truth that every great coach knows is that you can't win if you're micromanaging every play. You're not out there, you're on the sidelines. They're the ones getting it done. If you want your team to succeed, you've got to let them step up and make the moves. Empowering team means giving them the autonomy and responsibility to do their jobs in their way. Now, again, it has to be based on the values and the culture and the goals of your company, but there's freedom in the way that the play gets executed. It's about saying, I trust you to make decisions, to solve problems, and to bring your skills to the table. When you do this, it boosts their confidence, it fosters a sense of ownership, and when people feel they have ownership, they can bring their best to the game. Now, it doesn't mean that you're hands off completely. There's no coach that's over on the sidelines sipping a latte, letting anything happen. But it's more about finding that balance between guidance and independence. Think about it like a coach on the sidelines. You're there to give directions and support, but you're also trusting your players to make those real-time decisions on the court. The same is true in business. And when somebody on your team makes a mistake, don't jump in and take over. I'm pretty sure that's some kind of technical foul if you do that in a game. Just use it as a learning opportunity. Show them how to correct it, let them try again, because trusting your team in both their wins and their mistakes is one of the most empowering gifts that you can give as a leader. I will give a personal disclaimer here. I am a bit of a recovering control freak. I don't like to be micromanaged, and I say I don't like to micromanage, but my natural tendencies is to get in there and just make sure it's all being done my way. And over the past year or two, I have learned that that's one of the most destructive and demotivating behaviors that I have. So take it from a recovering, over-controlling mom boss. It's not the thing you want to do for your team. Now, number 5, it's about culture again, all right? So this 5th tip is about fostering a supportive family-like culture. As entrepreneurial moms, we know the power of family bonds and support, right? Like, we're moms. So imagine creating that energy with your team, a place where people feel seen, they feel valued and connected. Doesn't mean that everybody's got to be best friends, because let's be real, that's not going to happen. But it does mean that you're building an environment of mutual respect and care that people can feel and they know is authentic. So how do you do this? Start by checking in regularly. And I don't mean just about work and projects. I mean about how people are doing, really. Get to know your team as individuals. Ask about their goals. Ask about their passions, their challenges. What's going on with them? Compare birthdays, acknowledge their achievements, even be there for them when they're going through really tough times that have nothing to do with their job. This level of care goes a long way in creating a team that feels like family. Also, encourage your team to support one another. Just like a family, a strong team stands together through the wins and the challenges. And when someone's having a rough day, let them know it's okay to lean on their teammates. Show them that you've got each other's backs. This type of culture makes people want to stay and give their best. And it also creates an environment where people can thrive and feel fulfilled, but they also feel seen, known, loved, and valued. When your team feels like family, they'll be more invested in the business outcomes and the success that you're trying to drive. And that's what truly powerful teams are made of. All right, so there you have it. The 5 secrets that every great coach knows to build a high-performing and supportive and successful team. So, just a little recap. We covered setting a strong foundation with clear values. Using that John Wooden example, look him up, truly inspiring. Number 2, defining success with clear goals and roles for every member of the team. Number 3, creating a culture of feedback and growth. Number 4, empowering and trusting your team, even when it's really hard. It's so worth it. And number 5, fostering a family-like culture of support. So, if you're a mom boss and you're trying to balance business, family, leadership, these coaching tips will help you to build a team that not only supports the vision, but also grows along with you. Because as a leader, we should be growing as well. So, it's not all about doing it yourself, mom boss. It's about building that team around you. So I hope this was helpful today. Thanks for hanging out. And if any of these tips really resonated with you, or maybe stepped on your toes just a little bit, let me know. Drop a comment below, and let's keep this conversation going. Until then, keep on shining, keep on leading, and I'll see you on the flip side. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe, share this video with a friend, and I'll see you next time.